Okay. So from last week, we were able to learn what software engineering is. And
Yes.
we explained to ourselves that software engineering is the ability or the skill that you acquire to be able to create software applications that works on your browser, right?
Yes.
And then we learned that there are different uh, software applications that solves, our problems in our daily life, that helps us to perform tasks in every of our daily life. We talked about examples of software applications. We have software applications that run on our mobile devices like phones, tablets, iPad, uh, you know, Google Pixel Pad, and a lot like that. We also learned about software applications that works on our computer, that are installed on our computer. And we call those ones desktop applications or native apps. So native apps are apps that works on our mobile devices, that are built specially for mobile devices, or built specially for our computers, or in fact built specially for some other smaller machines, right? And
Yeah.
we call web applications that can work using that can work on your browser. You need your browser to launch web applications. And there are some web applications that you may not even you need your web browser really. You may not need to open your web browser, though it works with your web browser, but you may not need to open it. So, but when you begin to get into the more advanced part, you're going to be able to understand that very well. So I mentioned that some of the things you're going to be learning first when you are learning to build web applications will be uh, some technologies, including HTML. Okay, I explained also that a web application or every kind of application, software application, has about 3 tiers, right? We said there is
Yeah.
front end and the back end. Now, the front end is just single one. We can just classify it as the single part, as the user interface. That is where myself, you, and every other person using a software that has been built. That is what people relate with. The front end is built for people to be able to work with the software, to perform tasks with the software. But the jargons, the codes, the programming, the coding that makes it possible is kept under those layers, those graphical layers. Like when you press a button, the button can perform an operation, but what enables it to happen has been kept under that button. So a front-end engineer, a front-end application developer will learn how to create interfaces, what software interfaces that people can easily see and understand that, okay, when I press this, it's going to perform a certain task. So that is what the front end part is. We also call it the presentation tier. That is where you can, where there's a presentation of the software to every user for the user to use. Then for the backend, we call it two. We have uh, the data tier. 1 second, please.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
We talked about the backend. And the backend has two tiers. We have the server side, and we also have the data tier. So the server side is what makes your front end part to communicate with your backend. It's just like the middle tier between your back end and your front end. So an example is let me use the banking application. So for example, now the front end tier is the mobile application, for example, or when you log on to the bank's website page where the web application is kept. Now,
Okay.
you're going to have a login page. When you use the login page, you entered, okay, let's take Zoom, for example. When you want to log into Zoom, let me use the banking example that I'm using. That would be more relatable. Now, when you log in you're going to have a piece of information, which we call the account name and also a password, right? When you use the account password on the form that you're going to find, the form will say enter your username. The another form will say enter your password, and there will be a button to say login. Now, everything you have related with, where you put your information and when you click the login, all of those areas, we call it the presentation tier. Now, there is the middle tier, that's the server side that collects that information, right? Receives the information and takes it to a point. Now, the point it takes it to, it collects it from the front end. The client, the server side will be able to process it, right? And send it to a particular point or use it to fetch, it will fetch a record. That's what happens anyway. When you put your account details in and your password, the client part will receive it and will communicate with the data tier to say that, is there truly someone with this account? Is there someone with this identity information? And once the data tier is able to say that, yes, I do have it. So the data tier will send the information to the client tier, and the client tier will now bring it and now send it back to the front end tier, the presentation tier. That's when after you have it has sent it back, you now say, hello, welcome Bezalel. Your account balance is so, let's say 1 million naira. And your date of birth is so. So some information that you have put in when you were registering at your bank, the client tier will fetch it from the data tier for you and send it to the presentation tier. So that's essentially how the every software application works, right? So some of the building blocks, some of the things you need to learn when you want to start building web applications includes technologies like HTML, which we call Hypertext Markup Language. And this is what we call a markup language that allows you to create some structure for your web application. And you can remember that I likened it to the framework of every product. For example, I said your car at home has a framework, and the framework is what gives the structure of your car. If your car would be just an SUV, it will be a saloon car, a car that has a stretched boot or a lift boot or a lift back. Or if your car will be long or will be short, right? So it is the framework, like the skeletal part, the skeletal framework of all your application. It is the HTML part that creates it. Then I also talked about having another part which we call CSS. That's the cascading style sheet. The cascading style sheet is what gives some beauty to the skeleton, that adds some flesh to the skeleton. So for example, now your car has a framework, it will just be metal. In fact, it will look dirty because there would have been a lot of soldering together of different parts. Now, when the car is painted, the cushion is put into it, the dashboard has been covered, has been created, a lot of internal bodywork or internal upholstery and beautification has been done to your car. That is when it becomes beautiful and you like to enter it, right? Then said that we have JavaScript. JavaScript technology is like the brain of all your machine or the brain of your application. So your application will just be like that and will not be able to do a lot of things. It will be fine, but it will just be in a single place. Your car will just be fine. It's just like the engine or the brain of your car. So when JavaScript comes, that is when you will press a button on your car and your car will start and the engine will start running.
Okay.
This is when you are going to press, JavaScript makes it possible. I'm giving an analogy. It's not essentially that you use JavaScript to create your car, right? I'm just using your car as a web application, right? So now you press a button on your car and the wiper works. It wipes your windshield. You use your key and the vehicle starts and a lot of things like that. So that is what JavaScript does. So we are starting from HTML. We are starting from HTML. And I explained that HTML, you write HTML tags, right, in pairs. So what do I mean by that? Can you open your Visual Studio Code now? Open your Visual Studio Code that you installed last week, the environment where we write your HTML codes. Can you still find it? You should, yes, that is it.
Yes.
Tell me why you're giving up on them. It's loading, just wait for it. All right. We are good. So if you check your H1, I told you that your HTML tags are written in pairs, right?
Yes.
Yes, last week we learned about some tags, just to not to make last week full of just a lot of theories. So we decided to just see how some of the tags works. So if you say, can you launch this? Go to HTML class, take your cursor to the header. HTML class.html. Take your cursor up, to that part. Yes, right click. Right click. Right click. All right, copy part. Copy the part. Good. Then take it to your browser. Go to your browser, put it there. Go to your browser, open your browser. Yes, paste it there. You can paste it in that place where there is Zoom. Just paste it. Don't create another tab. Yeah, paste it there. Paste it your code. Yes, and enter. Let's see.
Enter.
Good. This was the output that we got last week. And now you can see we created an header that looked like your Gmail header.
Yes.
All right, so go to the tab where your mail is opened. Go to that tab, click on it. Good. I want this to load so that we'll see a difference now. So click on inbox. All right. Now we have 88, right?
Yes.
But last week we had 86. Can you see that
Yes.
this one has changed? Our own has not changed.
Yeah.
The reason it has not changed is because we only just created the skeleton. The skeleton cannot do anything. It is wherever you create it and put it, that's where it will be. Even if you cover it with flesh, right?
Mm.
But when you begin to bring brain into it, that is when the skeleton will be able to get some information from the brain and will learn how to walk. The skeleton will learn how to give frame to the body to walk, will learn how to support the body when you decide to run, and a lot of other things. So it was because we created just that, and that is why we have it like that. So now if you see our own email, we have Bezalel Opeyemi, the real Gmail, Bezalel Opeyemi 2013. But in our own, we only have
Yeah.
Bezalel Opeyemi at gmail.com. So we'll update our own to 88 and we'll add 2013. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code.
Oh.
All right. Go to the title and update it from 86 to 88. Then Bezalel Opeyemi 2013. Good. That will be okay for now. So you save. Don't forget that you have to save. Have you saved? Control S, just press Control S. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay. So for the sake of starting, I will teach you some things. And the reason why I needed you to be saving yourself is so that it will become a practice, but let me make it easier for you. So go to File on your Visual Studio Code. Go to File. We want to set an option there. File. Now go to File. Yeah, yes, File. Scroll down and go to Auto Save. Yes, click on it.
So I click it.
Yes. All right. With this now, it will automatically save your code for you. You won't have to, even if you forget, it will automatically save it for you. There are other things that you can do automatically, but I will not be teaching you gradually so that you will learn the practice first before you begin to use quick shortcuts. Is that all right?
Yes.
Good. Now go to your browser and refresh your page so that we can see the. So can you see that it has been updated now?
Yes.
Good. All right. Now, if you see everything we have written here, this is a heading, this is a heading, this is a heading. It is not beautiful. The reason it's not beautiful is because you are just still creating the skeletal part. The skeletal part is not always fine. It's always rough. It does not look appealing, right?
Yes.
So let's continue with this. When we begin to touch on CSS, you will begin to like it, but this is very important for you to know. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code. Good. Now, if you go to the title, if you see the title tag, I told you that HTML tags are written in square brackets, an opening square bracket
Yeah.
and a closing square bracket, right?
Yes.
And each tag is written in pairs. So you see title tag and it's closed with another title tag, right?
Yeah.
You saw the H1 tag. H1 is heading tag. You see heading 1, and you see that it was closed. Heading 2, it was also closed, and a lot like that. So all of this makes our work, all of this makes us understand the characteristics of HTML tags. All right. So let's advance to check other tags. So the tags are just like, I can liken it to like action words for you, right? So
Yeah.
let's get right into it. All right, let's look at what you call, okay, I jotted down some things here, but I don't want to be saying it with the mouth. So we have two kind of tags. We have the tags that are, let me clear this. This is not what I needed to do. Okay. All right. So we have tags that we call self-closing tags. So these self-closing tags, they are tags that you will not need to create like a pair for, right? So when, as you progress, you're going to find those kind of tags. So let me quickly explain the structure of HTML to you. Now, for the first one, you will see HTML. We opened HTML. Let me take my annotator. Now, we open HTML here, right? And we say the language you want to use to write is English. So it's possible to write HTML in other languages like Spanish, like German, and a lot like that. So I'm assuming.
What about the keyboard?
The keyboard, okay. Now, there are some keyboards that were created to be able to write such languages. So there are keyboards that could do that. 1 second. So there are keyboards that could do that. And those keyboards are enabled to be able to do that. Sorry, 1 second. So, like I said, there are the ones that we call self-closing tags, and
Self-opening tags. Hello?
all right. So I want to explain the structure of the HTML. That was what I was doing. So I said that it is possible that you write HTML tags also in other languages. That is why language EN here. Now, I have not done that before, and I cannot confirm it, but it's possible. right? That is why we are specifying that we are writing in the English language. So if it is Spanish, maybe it may be SP. If it is German, it may be G, M, G, N, and a lot like that. Now we have the next thing I'm going to talk about is the header tag. Now the header tag, it was opened here and it was closed here, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
so the header tag, inside it, we have some meta. From what we are doing here, I'm not going to talk about this meta part. And the reason why I won't talk about it is because it's not necessary for you to know at this point, right?
Okay.
The meta parts are just you giving some other information about what your website, your web page is. You're trying to provide it. So essentially, it may not be for what the people in the presentation, the people using your software, they don't need it. They do not even essentially need to understand it, but it's just providing more information. And people essentially use it are more advanced persons who are relating with your program. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the title. So inside the title, you have the header. And I showed you what the title, you already know what the title looks like.
Yes.
The one that we
But
we
I
did.
have a question. Why are there two a closed body tag and what is HTML close for?
Okay, HTML is, I told you that HTML is the markup language, right?
Yes.
Writing an HTML, we are writing HTML tags to give structure and frame to our website. So once you are writing in this environment, this ID, integrated development environment, which you call Visual Studio Code. Now, it is that environment that you are telling that I'm trying to write HTML code. Understand that I'm trying to write HTML code. So you're now saying that inside this HTML code, these are the things I want to write into it. I told you that HTML tags are written in pairs. So you are saying that I'm starting my HTML tags here and I'm ending it here. So everything in between will be showing on my web browser.
But why is it closed? A closed one.
We are trying to say starting here and ending here.
But look, it is closed.
Yes, it
It's
is
open
closed.
brackets / HTML close brackets.
Yes, I explained to you that HTML tags are written in pairs. When you write the first one, that's the opening tag. The second one that has a backslash, right, is the closing. You are saying that everything I'm writing between the opening tag and the closing tag will take this kind of form.
So if I write something before the
outside the
open bracket, it will
bracket.
automatically put an opening bracket.
If you write anything outside the HTML tag, then that's the outside the closing tag. You are saying that I don't need it on my web page. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm talking about before it.
Before it, yes. Everything we are writing here is before it. It's just that we are trying to structure it right. Okay, let me give you an example. Let me show you. Let's check that out. So before it, go before it, take your cursor to before it. So write something, just write anything, type anything. Now save it. Oh, I told you that I already taught you how to use autosave. Okay. Now go to your web page.
Okay. And refresh.
Yes, refresh. Let's see what happens. Did you see?
I've seen. Yes.
Now you saw that because you are still right. Now let's do another thing. Go back to your Visual Studio.
Okay.
All right, so go after this HTML tag. Take your cursor after it, the closing part. Now write anything, just write anything. Now save. Okay, it's already
It's
saved.
already in auto save.
Yes, now go back to your browser. Now refresh.
Okay.
Good. Can you see that both is showing?
Yes.
Now, both is showing because you are just saying that anything I write that is not within the tag, the QWERTY is within the tag, right?
Yes.
I will show you something now. Let me go. I'm going to request for your
Remote control.
remote control. So go to Visual Studio now.
Good.
All right. Now, this is how it works. It's just a structure. This ASD that you have written here, you have written it outside your HTML. So everything you write here will not hold.
Okay.
Yes, it will not take the proper form that you want it to take. So for example, now we wanted to create H1 tags. If you create H1 tags outside this closing HTML tag, it may not take the form. So it may take the form and it may not, but that is not sure, right? So
Yeah.
since it is not sure, you are supposed to just write it the proper way. So once you write it the proper way, you are certain of what the outcome will be. Is that all right?
Yes.
So let me remove that. So I want to show you the structure. Now, I will call the structure something like, I'll call the structures, I'll use your house as an example. Now, in your house is fenced, right?
Yes.
Now, when you fence your house, you're only saying that everything that is within this fence belongs to the Talabi family, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, so that's what the HTML here is saying. You're saying that everything I'm writing here is for HTML. So it's for HTML. That's what you're doing. So everything else is inside it. Can you see?
Yes.
So you can see this line now. When I clicked on this place, when I clicked on this, can you see that I swallowed every other thing and it's showing HTML and HTML?
Yes.
Good. When I click on this arrow, it will open everything again. It's saying that everything else is inside me.
Okay, like everything that is under 2, it will
Yes.
be English.
Yes, everything between 3 and 16 is an HTML code. That's what you are saying, that everything within this compound is HTML. I'm trying to write HTML. So your web page or your web engine, your web browser engine will be able to understand that, okay, this is an HTML code and it will interpret it like that. You know, I explained to you also last week when we started, I explained to you that your computer only understands electronic signals, right? Which we can interpret as 0 and 1, right? On and off,
Yes.
switches, and true or false. That's what your computer understands. Now, and I told you that there are high-level languages, right, that allows you to write in the form of English, like you're writing English or a language that you understand. And when you feed it to another environment that interprets it for your machine, like the IDE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you write it in those environments and the environment will now convert it without your knowledge. It will convert it to signals, electronic codes that the computer understands, and it will interpret it essentially the way you have taught it. So now, everything you are just trying to do here is that you are trying to tell your Visual Studio Code that when you are giving it to my browser engine, the brain of my browser, this is what I'm trying to do. And that's why you must follow it carefully. Tell your browser that this is an HTML code and everything else is inside the HTML code. So now, inside the HTML code, your HTML has a head and the body, the same way you have head and the body. You know, I explained to you that HTML is just like a skeletal part, which is not fine, which everybody don't like to see, right? Now, so the skeletal part also has the head, and if you want to categorize your body, your entire system, your body system, you say you have a head and the rest of your body is called the body. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So now, so in the head, that's where we have the title. So inside the head here, we have the title. Right?
Okay. Yes.
After the head, we also have the body. Inside the body, we have every other thing, a lot of different other tags that we can write inside.
Okay.
Now, so in the head there, we have the title. Now, everything inside the head does not show on your web page. It does not essentially show on the body of your web page. So let's go to your browser now. Let's see what we did before. All right. You can see the title. The title is only showing at the tab area here, right? We can call everything that is happening here the head area.
Yeah.
Yes. Then everything that you see on this white space, for example, that's the body. Every other thing is the body. So every other thing is the body.
Yeah.
So you can see, all right? So you can see that we have a lot of other tags here, right? Now, so you are just basically giving structure. You're giving structure to your web page. All right. And sorry, I'm being distracted here because of my environment. You are the only one there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I also have an environment. So I'm trying to, okay, good. I'm good now. So let's go back to the explanation. Oh, I have control now. I forgot I have the control. All right. So again, let me just take it easy. When you enter your compound is like the HTML compound, the Talabi compound, right? Then the Talabi compound has a head and the body. Now, so we can say the head of your compound, inside your compound, you have a building there, and we can call the head the roof, where people don't really relate to it. Nobody goes into the roof except when the house is being built, right?
Yes.
So there are a lot of informations like the meta information that I said I'm not going to mention that is contained in your roof. From your roof, you can know the size of your building. You can know the number of rooms that is in the entire building, right? Then, but in the head, in the body, that's the other part. In the body, you have the painting, you have where you can put your bed, you have where there's a wardrobe. For example, your room has different kind of things that makes it habitable for you, right?
Yes.
So that's why the body, there are a lot of tags that we can write inside the body. So I hope that explanation works for you.
Yes.
Okay, so take back the control from me.
Okay.
Or let me give it up. Let me give it up. So let me give it up. So I told you that when we are writing the tags now, some are not beautiful, And so we are going to work with some. So now I will like you to, just as an exercise, I don't want you to have too much information. I don't want to talk too much. So for a quick exercise now, you are going to create in school, last week in school. Can you remember a
Yes.
topic that you took in one of your subjects?
Yes, we did fractions and percentages in mathematics, athletics in PHE.
Okay, good.
Mm,
All right. Can you remember what you were told about athletics?
yes.
Okay. Let me look for something simple for you because I want to ask you to do something that is quite much. So
Okay.
one of the things I'll ask you to do, okay, let me request control again so that I will give you an exercise on your screen now.
Okay.
All right. So I don't mind some of the tags and some things I'm going to do. I would explain to you
Okay.
afterwards.
I need to quickly use the toilet.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
I still have the remote control, so I can't touch my screen to mute now. Let me finish what I'm doing.
I'm here.
Okay. What's that command for wrapping words together? I forgot.
Yeah, why you just go to view.
Okay. Okay, yeah. All right, so I'm giving you this task to use HTML tags to write about yourself, right? So you're going to use an header tag from the little ones we have worked on to create a title. So the title will be your name, right?
Okay.
You use paragraph tag to write like 2 sentences about yourself.
Okay.
Then the third thing will be to write exciting things that you like, e.g. food, color, game, subject, country, and some of your a friend. You can write the name of a friend. So you write it as if you're writing a list. You're outlining it. I've not taught you how to list, but try. Just write it out. All right.
Okay.
So I will leave you to do that, and I'll come back. Hello, Bez.
Hello.
Yes, cancel this, cancel what you're doing. All right, so you go under this paragraph here. Go under I am a paragraph.
Okay.
Yes, and you can begin to, I'm coming, let me request remote control.
Okay.
All right. So you can begin here. So don't forget you create an opening tag. So for example, you have this, you close it, then in between it, anything you write in between the opening and the closing tag is what you are going to see. So for example, if I say, oh, Ramola, right?
Yeah.
Then I can say, yes, I told you that your IDs have what you call IntelliSense, right? That make that easily takes a particular, it gets an idea of what you want to write. So for example, I just pressed P and I pressed enter and it understood that I wanted to use paragraph. But I don't want you to be using the IntelliSense yet. Do it yourself. Control Shift, use the square bracket that opens, press P, close it. Now, this one has closed it for you. Fine, I can say allow that for now. So put every other information you want to put.
Okay.
So for example, so let's see what happens here. Let me see the browser. Oh, don't worry, I have control. So can you see that?
Yes.
I want you to do the same thing, but now it must be original now. So you can start from here. Start whatever thing you want to do from here. Create another tag for your name. Then write a bit about yourself. Then write like a list from one line. A line will be, I love to eat jollof rice and chicken. Or I love to eat amala and ewedu. Then the best color, best color is black. It will be different lines. I want you to do it in different lines. So we'll see the output. Then we can.
Okay.
All right. So the Resume recording. So to put it in recording, this is not exactly the output that you want. You want your favorite other things, your favorite color, food, and other things. You want it to be in a single line, and it should be a list. So let's go back to your Visual Studio Code environment. Okay, so here you already wrote the header to be your name and the paragraph text to be, my name is Talabi Bezalel Opeyemi. I'm 10 years old. I attend Orita Mefa Baptist Model School, Akobo, Ibadan, right?
Yes.
The rest, you want it to be a list. So to create a list, right? You are going to use the tag list. So we have two kind of lists. We have, okay, so you are going to create a list. So the tag is LI. So before, yes, you know, so create a list tag, LI. Now close it. Good. Now, how will you use this list tag? Suggest to me how you are going to use this list tag. You want to apply it to every other things that are here. What are you going to do?
You are going to put, I think you have to be making more and more list tag.
Okay.
13. An open one here, close one here.
Okay, good.
Open, close one.
Good. That is not exactly right, but you got the idea. Now you made a mistake here. You close the paragraph here. You're not supposed to close it here. You're supposed to close it after Ibadan. So carry this closing tag for this paragraph, cut it off here and put it back after Ibadan. We want that text to just stay within the paragraph tag. So cut it off.
Okay.
Yes, and paste it there. Good. Now, you have created the list tag now. Carry every other thing here. My favorite, I liked it. No, my favorite. Yes, I liked my favorite to etc. I write everything to etc. So cut it from that point. Yes, then you are going to put it inside list. So for you to do that clearly, press enter for you to slice it open. Yes, this is more structured.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that this is more structured. Now, paste it there. Paste it there. Good. Now that you have pasted it, I want you to, now this list now, you're only saying that you want to create a list, but lists have different types, right? And I will talk about two types now. We have the ordered list and the unordered list, right? So when we begin to talk about tags, HTML tags also have attributes. So for example, now, I talked about I explained it to your car, right?
Yes.
Now, I know there are some cars that are made with paper. Is that true?
No.
You've not seen one before?
I've never seen one.
Okay, but there are some cars that are made with plastics. Have you seen any before? No.
Is it toy cars?
It could be toy, it could be cars that you ride. Do you agree there are cars that are made with plastic, right?
Yes.
Good. Now, so it means
like those small cars that babies will enter.
Good. Yes, those ones are created with plastic. So it means that you can have a framework of a car made with different materials.
Okay.
So that's just like the attribute of that framework of the car. Now, when you are creating it, you can even say if it is plastic, it should be a gentle plastic or a hard plastic, or a soft plastic or a hard plastic. So now we'll get into attributes of tags, but little by little. Now we now have like a sub-level of list. So list have ordered list and unordered list. So let's check. Ordered lists are called, how you write the ordered list tag is 0L, sorry, OL, not 0, OL.
Okay.
So before my favorite color, I want you to create the tag OL and close it after orange. So open it before my favorite color, OL. That is ordered list. All right. So I want you to take, okay, you can cut that and put it after orange so that we'll see what that looks like. Good. Now let's check my favorite food to do the same for my favorite food.
Okay.
Now, for I live in Nigeria and my favorite subject, you're going to use unordered list. That is UL, unordered, UL. So complete for pizza. Then for I live in Nigeria and the favorite subject, use UL. So we'll see the difference between both. There's a mistake there, but completely close that tag now. Close it. Yeah, good. Now you can see the mistake, good. All right. So let's stop at this point. Let's check it on our browser.
Okay.
I want us to close this class in 9 minutes.
Okay.
Can you say, no, this is not exactly what I want. This is not exactly what I want. What is happening? Give me control. Let me confirm what is happening. All right. I'm just trying to structure it well. I want it to be cleaner. So I'm not doing anything extraordinary yet. Good. All right. We have ordered list. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry. It's a mistake that I made. Now we have two kind of, sorry, I said we have different kind of lists.
Yes.
So now for ordered list, that will be the main tag. It's not that you'll be writing OL and UL inside LI. Sorry, I've seen the error. So this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to say, oh, I want to create an ordered list. So now you have just told your browser that this is going to be an ordered list. Then you put everything you want to do inside the ordered list. So you create a list inside ordered list. It will be the other way around. I hope you get that now.
Yeah.
So you have told your browser now that it is ordered list. Now you now begin to create the list one after the other. So that was why our output is wrong. Can you see why this is interesting? It is interesting at this level because everything you do, you can actually see instantly.
Yes.
So everything here will be ordered, will be an ordered list. All right. Let me quickly complete this. Oops, that was an error. Okay. All right, so let's see this in our browser now.
Wait.
Okay.
You did not close it with OLC.
Oh, yes.
There's only open.
You got that.
There's no close.
Yeah, you got that right. So that's right. So let's check that out. Can you see?
Yes.
So it gave the number, right, for ordered list. So let's check the unordered list so we can see the difference, and we may be able to look at some other attributes of the list. So I told you unordered list is UL, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's see that in practice. Can you see the difference now?
Yes. This one doesn't have numbers.
Yes. And this one has numbers. All right. So we can also do more. There are other attributes. Okay, let me. Let me also talk about one thing that I wanted to do. So here,
Yeah.
if you want to break the text you are writing in a line, you use a particular tag that we call break. So break is a break. You can use BR, yes, break, BR. So if you check this, now if we check this, we'll see that it will break the line. It will break the text into another line.
Hello, Mr. Jacob. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, well done. I appreciate your work. It's just that he has some homework to still do before school tomorrow.
Yes, we are going to end in 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so
we are
much.
ending
Well
in
done.
3
Thank you.
minutes. It's all right, sir. So, we are just going to round up here. During the week, I'll just give you a list of some other tasks that you try out before the next class. Will that be
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Do you have any question for now?
No.
Okay, you got everything we did today.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a small assignment, a simple assignment during the week. And I will also show you some tasks that you try out and tell me what they work for. Like how to bring an image to your web page and some other fine things like that. So take care of yourself and have a great week. My greetings to your brother. I forgot his name now. It skipped my head.
Okay.
All right. I will upload this and send it to you.
Okay.
All right. Take care of yourself.